about Aaron here because Carl pointed this out to me. Dylan, I'm curious your thoughts on this because you were here for the goal episode.
Yes, the $10,000 goal, which was an utter failure at
It was a
only
complete
$4,000.
embarrassment, a black mark on this program. It was humiliating, and we've never really recovered from it, quite frankly. But you were here, Dylan. I want you to keep your ears open. You seem like a perceptive guy. Tell me if you hear any similarities in what Aaron's doing. I can't quite tell. I'm not a very perceptive guy myself. I can't quite tell if there's anything he's doing here that might be, I don't know, an homage to us, let's say.
We do have to get to some chats here. We do have to get to Steel Toe fans throwing money in. Throw those big money in.
Bust that goal out.
Today's a fucking fuck the 5-minute begging thing. Fuck that shit. I can't
Is that
operate
familiar
that.
to you guys at all? I don't know. I can't really remember. I remember hearing something like this somewhere. I can't remember if it was in terms of Aaron or something else. But I don't know. Just an odd similarity is striking me that I can't put my finger on.
Make the whole show a begathon. That is ringing a bell to me, too.
Also the energy, the hyped energy. That's not usually there like that.
Again, yeah, I don't know. It's familiar to me. I don't know who might have done this already. I think it's weird to do this and not acknowledge the guy at all and try to pretend certain things don't exist. It's what was I just talking about with Luis J. Gomez? Acknowledge shit that's happening in your world. It's weird. If a guy did 5 hours parodying my show, even if I hated it, I'd be like, that's as a concept, that's kind of funny that guy did that. You'd have to acknowledge it because that's a tremendous amount of dedication to put towards something.
Maybe Aaron would say he's not ripping you off. He's taking an homage from Jerry Lewis and his telethons. We'll have to go back and see if that's accurate.
That's probably true. I don't remember Jerry yelling, "Come on, you pussies, pony up!"
Not on screen anyway. That was left for off screen.
I didn't watch every year by any means, but I just don't remember it
anymore. It stresses me out. I want to blow my fucking head off. Knock it out. Let's do a show. You guys want to go back to old school Steel Toe? So do I. You know how we go back to old school Steel Toe? We don't have to worry about any of the money shit. None of it. None of it. We get it knocked out. We throw in our money.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's tough to tell. But here's a little longer version. Maybe we can ruminate on it a little more. I can't tell if Aaron got inspiration from anyone to act out this bit. By the way, if you don't have maybe the full context will paint a better picture for you. So I get he missed the goal by $105 one night. Is that right, Dylan?
I believe it was right before this. So he's already behind by one stream. So he's trying to catch up on yesterday and today. So that makes sense that just forget about us doing a show. We're doing a telethon to get 2 goals knocked out.
And you guys, and this applies to all jobs. You don't have to be in podcasting. Just imagine your job, you, the listener out there. If you're a construction worker, if you work at a hospital, if you work at a legal office, an insurance company, wherever you work out there. Imagine you go into the office and you're $105 behind the goal. I mean, it's a universal metaphor. You can imagine the pressure you would be under the next day. And so Aaron is $105 behind and has to resort to, I guess, the only strategy he's seen work into raising thousands of dollars at once. So I think maybe even subconsciously, Aaron said, "Oh, I guess screaming at the audience works." And I got to say, it actually does work because it didn't just work with us. Aaron made 4 goals worth on this episode or something? He made like $1,000, I think.
He was going off about the quad. So they've never hit the quad before. What's really fun is once he hit both goals, he just kept on begging. Come on, let's get 3. Let's get 4.
Well, believe me, I know the feeling, and it takes a lot out of you. So good for Aaron. But I'm a little tongue-in-cheek here. Clearly, I think that I had some influence on this. But you guys tell me. Let's listen to a longer version. Maybe I'm a little crazy.
Man. All right, now you guys throw in $50 a pop. We're knocking this thing out right away. And if we don't, this is like my last ditch effort at like, Rob, let's knock it out. Don't make me look like a fucking idiot. These haters have enough ammo today already. Let's stunt them a little. Let's cool down the barrel. Wild card, $5. Or wait,
Thank you.
Gray Duckling. $5. Sorry, I fucked that up. Thank you, Tyler. Thank you, Gray Duckling. $5 coming in via PayPal. Pizza roll with $9.99 says, "Good morning. Eat more queso."
Hold on real quick. Pause real quick. I think Dylan's audio is fucking with me here. There's something going on. Do you hear that?
Dylan, talk for me. Yeah, you're muted, Dylan. Yeah, you're muted. So, yeah, something happened there. I heard
it was
it
nice
too,
having him while it lasted.
I heard it too, but at the same time, Johnny Crutches was grabbing his microphone, so I was like, well, one of these guys. So,
one of these assholes that either me or Aaron has brought onto the show.
Try again, Dylan. All right, jump out, Dylan.
Hey, it was fun while it lasted, Dylan. Good to have you.
Yeah, like a computer, he blue screened. Hey-o. All right, let's
Certainly will. Come on. Let's fucking do it. I'm done with this shit.
All right. Come on.
You want steel toe?
Come on. Aaron, I don't ask for credit often, but if you're going to literally mimic me, at least say, just like Blind Mike did, shout out the Patreon or something. Like, I'd appreciate it. That's all I ask.
Let's pay for some fucking steel toe. What are we, 105 from last night? So, yeah, $395 to make us square with the house again. $290 for this morning.
Square with
Get
the
in there.
house.
Click
Hold
that
on.
fucking...
Square with the house. I love these phrases. Who's the house, Aaron? Who you making it right with? Aaron, everyone's your family has left you. The house is empty. It's you. This is all you. Do you not realize the madness that is coming out of your mouth? You sound clinically insane. We say things sound insane a lot. Aaron sounds like he needs an institution to say, we got to settle up with the house, guys. Who is that? What does that mean? Who's he referring to?
I have no. Maybe he's
The government? Like, what is he talking about?
a casino? He's a casino. You just spend your money, and he's like, "Oh, we're the house. That's the house's money." It's the only thing I can think of.
The house always wins, and the toe always wins. So I guess it does fit.
Hey, Dylan, give me a what up. Nope, still can't hear you, brother. Restart that computer.
All right, go follow Dylan from somewhere.
Yes.
What's his channel called?
It's
Dylan from somewhere. I have it in the chat. I'll
All right,
put
just
it in again.
Guys, you saw how electric he was for that 40 seconds he was on here. I mean, if you don't want more of that, go follow Dylan from. No, I do like Dylan. I think he's a good egg. I think he does a good job with steel toe. If his mic's not working, that's a shame. But
fun fact, we met last night just to see if the mic worked, and it worked. So yeah, gotta love tech.
He was talking. How did that happen? How did out of nowhere we couldn't hear him?
It must have hit a wire. It's usually a wire situation a lot of the times with these things because people will change their components and then have the same wires for 10 years and then like spend thousands and it's the wire. It's always the wire. Anyway, sorry.
All right.
Here we go.
Back to this fucking goal, you pussies. I don't know who that sounds like, but
You pay for it. 50 at a time today. 15 at a time. That's what we're doing. Bud Britches says, hooray, no more begging. Not necessarily. We're still going to go in and we're still going to beg for fucking money because this is what I like doing. I just want you guys to pay for it because I know we're doing a great.
Lack of self-confidence. Because I heard this and was like, oh, he sounds unhinged. And I was kind of like, he's kind of doing what I was doing on the Goal Show, but he's never acknowledged me or anything. So I didn't think he knew who I was. So it wasn't until Carl was like, well, it's clear. It's a mic imitation. And I was like, no, come on, Carl. He doesn't know me. And he's like, no. This isn't about you. Aaron is so vain that he looks up everything about him. Aaron is very well versed on who is talking about Steel Toe. So he's definitely seen that Goal Show. What's interesting about that is to not acknowledge it, but duplicate it on your own show. That mindset is fascinating to me.
Great job. Big fucking chunk plays today, boys and girls. Yes, I will waste all my energy in the first hour screaming about this. I will lose my voice. I've got
so
to
let's hit the goal and just
Not as
get
easy as it
done.
looks, Aaron?
Sugar-free
sure.
Red Bull. You know what? Not even calling it the goal anymore. Give us what we fucking deserve.
Like, it's a little on the nose now. Are you going to put sunglasses on? Jesus Christ.
Dylan, say hi.
I'm back, sir. Hello.
Well, thank God, Dylan. Good to have you back, buddy.
And you
I
sound
hit the
horrible.
cough button. I hit the cough button, and then I stayed on mute. So I guess you're going to get my coughs because I just stayed on mute for some reason.
Well, you probably, I don't know if you've been able to, have you drawn any similarities to what you've heard from Aaron here? I don't know if you've been able to tell.
He is going quite over the top. He is blaming his audience, so it is quite derivative of you. So he might be going for that $4,000 goal a day because that worked very well in your case.
It's so weird, and it's actually got nothing to do with me in a way, where it's like, it's just weird to me when podcasts do this, where you're clearly referencing something, but you think there's some advantage to like not actually acknowledging it. Like, this is a radio guy move where it's like, well, we won't say the competition's call letters because people might go over there and watch. Like, I think Aaron is afraid that his audience, if he gives people too much credit, will go out and find other shows other than Steel Toe. And it's like, no, Aaron, people will still enjoy goofing with you. Don't worry about it.
No one else has that whiteboard behind him with such chicken scratch.
Exactly. As much as I tried, I couldn't duplicate what Steel Toe's doing.
Your handwriting probably would be quite similar to his.
You think so?
It's comedy dictated.
Bunches of money. I'm not shutting up. We're making the. We didn't deserve to lose by $100 last night. That is not our fault. We fucking killed it last night.
Here's my question, though. He's parodying me. Does he know what was funny about what I was doing? You see what I'm saying? Like, does he know the joke I was making?
I think anything to get to the goal. He stopped mentioning it when people would just stop in right after all the drama with Ricada. So it's just anything to satiate the goal and get his self-worth up to a minimum.
It seems almost like he watched me and didn't think I was doing a parody of. I was parodying him. That's what's weird about this. Is I think he might have watched me and said, "Oh, that's actually a really good strategy." maybe that's how you rally people to get the goal. And hey, it worked. He hit the quad, I guess, whatever the fuck that is.
We're also forgetting he stole the goal, the Mexican goal announcer. That was from the show.
Well, I really thought there's no way that was us because it just seems so obvious to do that. But now I wonder. It's like, I think I always talk about how much influence Anthony Cumia had on Steel Toe. I think I might be second in line right after Cumia. I think I might be one of his greatest influences.
That would be amazing.
Show. Matt and I killed your whole evening for you. We fucking deserve it. 105.
I'm insulted now, actually. Listening back to this, I'm a little insulted.
That was your exact tone of voice in the $10,000 goal show.
That's what I'm saying. The energy is insane.
It's an imitation of me now.
Just saw what worked, and he's like, I'm taking that.
Short. Fuck that. Kill today. Kill last night. Fucking do it. Streamlabs, PayPal, all of it in PayPal. Just dump it in right now. I'm spamming the fucking chat. There you go.
So did he think when I was doing this that I wasn't making fun of him? You know what I mean? Like, is this him making fun of me?
It might just be him seeing what works. It worked, and his self-worth is just so tied up in hitting that goal. So whatever works, that's what we're going to do. This guy did $4,000. Maybe I could do that too every day.
Yeah, I wonder if he just found it recently. Like, he didn't see it the day after we did it or anything. I wonder if he just found it recently. Because why would you wait a month and a half or whatever it's been to try this?
Maybe he would think that people wouldn't remember, like the way that he changes the past. Like once a week goes by, he thinks people won't remember, and like it's not documented anywhere. So waiting a month, he might have thought, oh, no one remembers when that
Right.
blind fellow did this.
Yes, and his audience probably doesn't know me, so he like Aaron again thinks it's like old school radio where like they won't find the guy you're talking about if you completely rip him off. But it's like, I don't know, it's a pretty insulated universe. People are going to figure it out. I guess that I don't know what Aaron's commentary here is. Is it that I'm like a douchebag for acting like this, or that I'm a genius and I figured out how to make the goal?
Well, he's doing it for the goal, so he's doing it for the money, so he's doing this because he thinks it works.
I think Dylan's probably closest, where it's like, whatever gets me to the goal, man. I don't care if I embarrass myself. I don't care if I'm ripping someone off. I don't care if people even notice. It's just whatever gets me to that goal is what works.
Somebody says, I'm done with the 5-minute begging thing. Proceeds to beg for 5. No, I'm begging for the whole hour. We don't stop until this thing is knocked out. So, therefore,
it's an imitation of me doing Aaron. That's what's crazy about this. It's like I'm looking in a mirror with a mirror behind me. You know what I mean? Where it's like 75 reflections.
He's turned himself into a parody of himself. We thought he was already there, but now just mocking you, mocking him. This could be an endless circle for you to mock him now. Now I will mock that mock of mocking me. That's mocking. An impression of an impression of an impression.
Yeah, but what did he like? What is it for? I guess is the point. Like, to me, it was very simple when I did the goal show, where I was like, it would be funny to mock this. What's the most extreme way to mock it? Not stop begging for 5 hours and do an over the top kind of Aaron impression. What is his commentary that he's making? Because the way I take it is, if he's doing me, then his commentary is that the goal is really stupid and embarrassing. But he still does it every day, so that can't be what he means. You see? It's very complicated.
He just needs to get that self-worth somehow. And the goal, that's the only way this show is profitable, as he's told us.
Oh, that I know, yeah. He always says, like, that's the only way you can do the show. Why is Steel Toe the only show that has to work like this? Meaning, like, why doesn't my show have to work like this? Why doesn't Carl's show have to work like this? Why doesn't fucking Tim Dillon's show have to work like this? You know what I mean? Like, at any level, high, low, wherever you are on the totem pole of podcasting, why doesn't Casey Day's show have to work like this? Like, I don't get it.
Because he put the cart before the horse. Like you're on Minahan's show, Carl had his marketing job up until it made sense for him to go and make this his main job. Whereas this is Aaron's main job. He needs to go and work selling unpainted furniture at Unpainted Arizona, but he won't do it. He's just following this dream of being a radio broadcaster.
Well, I don't know if you know this, Dylan, but there's a tremendous amount of voiceover work out there. Have you heard that?
I have heard that.
He's like, hey guys, good news. Maybe I can keep doing Steel Toe because there's a lot of voiceover work out there. Like, he's a guy in radio. He didn't realize voiceover work existed. It's also a very easy job if you have a good voice. So I think a lot of people in radio go for those gigs. So I don't know how high paying whatever Aaron could get would be necessarily. But what's interesting is Aaron like talks about winning. He does stuff like this. I think he's like on the verge of quitting. He mentions offing himself a lot lately. He mentions quitting multiple times a day, every day. He's like, we'll go away. I mean, you hear it here. Like, we'll go away. Well, he threatens us. Ooh, what a tease. We'll go away if we don't hit the goal. So I think Aaron is on the cusp of, I guess, having to get a real job, which he clearly doesn't want to do. I was listening to those guys on Point to Point or whatever. It's just easier to call it that. This little piggy, I don't get the reference necessarily, but I guess that because it's toes. But I heard Patrick Melton saying, like, Aaron needs this. Like, even if he had a 9-to-5 job, he'd be doing steel toe at night because he has an ego. He's very vain. He needs to feel like he's the best at doing this. And totally stopping would be admitting failure. So I don't think he could ever totally stop doing this, which is the crazy part of it.
And sometimes you need to admit failure. That's why I moved out of Los Angeles, because things weren't going as I wanted them to. That I didn't. I had to admit I'm not the actor that I wanted to be. I had a nice little
You
streak.
do seem like a very niche role. It seems like, I don't know if they've quite written the character for you yet, but when they found it, I could see it breaking out.
It was, I had a nice little run, and then things weren't going my way, so I had to tap out and get a regular-ass job and move somewhere cheap. Aaron's already moved somewhere cheap. He's from somewhere cheap, St. Cloud.
Yeah, well, that's the other part, too, is like, I don't know what more he wants. Like, he's going on every day. He's doing shit like this where he's, like, yelling at them for the goal. Like, it's the same group of people every day. It has to end at some point. And now, to his credit, it hasn't ended yet. So maybe we're the idiots for thinking it's got to end eventually. But it's like you're asking the same, let's say it's, I don't know, 50 people or whatever it is. You're asking the same 50 people, and that might even be high. I'm not sure. But let's call it 100, whatever. You're asking the same group of people to fund you every day. And that has to give at some point. You can't keep relying on, oh, well, today I'll do Mike's bit. Tomorrow I'll do the thing that Patrick Melton made fun of, and I'll ramp that up. It's like eventually, like, people are going to get sick of giving you money, and it's going to be hard to replace those people just for the sake of giving you money. Like, again, if you have something like we, like a Patreon, where something is built in, and people can just say, hey, here's $5 a month. Every day to come back with your handout, like, that's an insane business model that has to end at some point, I would think.
It's basically the Dark Side Phil pay model, where you have like 6,
I've heard people
7
saying that.
pay
I don't know
whales.
I don't know Dark Side Phil, but I've heard that comparison to him a lot.
That's how I found Aaron. He was goofing on Dark Side Phil, and then he turned into him of begging for the goal. And there's a detractor that did a video. There is literally 6 or 7 people who just keep giving Dark Side Phil money to keep him going. And that's really what he's looking for, is 6, 7 people over and over again to get that money in. It's the same way that some of those pay-to-play swipey, not swipey apps, the mobile games work. They're shit, but there's like Darkside Phil is actually one of them, who's dropped tens of thousands of dollars into a shitty mobile game. And
Right.
Aaron is a shitty mobile game. Come on, folks.
It is so much fun, though. I don't get the same fun out of mobile games that I do with Aaron. But
5-minute begging thing. I'll just fucking tap out today and I'll go, fuck it, I got to go look for a job. This is it. We're getting back to zero. We're getting back to good today.
Aaron, that's not a threat to us that you have to get a job. You understand? Like, as I've said before, like, if I made no money doing this show, I would have had to figure something else out. That's for me to handle, and I probably would have handled it privately. I might not have even mentioned it to you guys. It's not your burden. It's not for me to come to you and be like, guys, don't you realize I might have to quit podcasting? Because as an audience, if you're not supporting me already, you would say, whatever, okay, see you later. Like, who would give a fuck? We don't even want to subscribe to the thing you're doing. Why would we care if you stopped doing it? That's what Aaron has to realize. He's not water. He's not food. He is not a resource that people desperately need.
He's not even Candy Crush Saga.
Right. He's not something they have to pay for every single day. If you go away, Aaron, they'll just listen to another podcast. And that's true of everyone, by the way. That's not even a dig at Aaron. That's true of fucking Joe Rogan. It's true, like, podcasts that I love. It's true of Tuesdays with honestly, and I'm not just saying this because I'm on the show. The one show that's different, like, I think when Kirk stops podcasting, people might lose their minds. Like, there might be a couple suicides. But short of that, I think pretty much podcast audiences will be fine and move on and figure out. It sucks. It's sad. Like, I've had podcasts that I really like that I listen to every week stop. And it's so you're like, ah, fuck, I really like that. It filled my Monday or whatever. And then you move on. You find something else to listen to, something else to do. You figure it out.
I used to hate listen to the Angry Video Game Nerds podcast each week, and when it went away, just now back to Dark Side Phil or someone because
Right. It sucks. You might be like, I miss those guys, but whatever.
We're putting fucking money in the bank. Why? Because I get up early in the fucking morning to make sure you guys don't feel like killing yourself when you go to work. That's worth something. Plus,
No, that's for us to decide it's worth something, Aaron. That's for me to say, like, that's the thing is Aaron expects these things that I otherwise considered incredibly nice. Like we were at the live show yesterday, and a couple people came up and were like, "Hey, I really like the podcast. It gets me through the day, whatever." I was like, "Oh, thanks so much. That's very, very nice of you to say." What I didn't do is go, "Okay, then where's you got $20 on you, or what? Like, what's the compensation here?" You're giving me a nice compliment, but I'm not seeing the money, you bitch. It's like you can't do that to people, Aaron. It's for them to decide how generous they want to be and how what it's worth to them. You don't get to say unless you set a price like you do on Patreon where you say, "Hey, this is worth $5 a month. You can pay it or not pay it." If you don't have something like that in place, you don't get to say, "Guys, that's worth something. I'm going to take up all your time by saying pay me now because you should."
He's really taking a hyperbole to you help me get through the day. As a former Opie and Anthony fan, I was a Stern fan when it was on. That helped me get through my day. It would have gotten me down if he just would have suddenly went away. But getting to a suicidal level, no, that's not where we're going to get.
Opie and Anthony's a perfect example because that was a show with like a crazy audience like that where people were obsessed with it and listened every single day, and it was kind of your world. And I even remember thinking, like, I used to fall asleep listening to old Opie and Anthony clips a lot, and I remember thinking, like, boy, am I gonna like, is that all I'm gonna listen? Or like, now that they're gone, like, what am I gonna listen to fall asleep and stuff? And I just found other shit. I still like Opie and Anthony. I have fond memories of it. I still talk about it on Why You Laughing a lot. Go check that out. But like, I moved on with my life. I still live, it's fine.
Yeah, no Opie and Anthony, but it's still fine. Thank you, by the way, for introducing me to Ron and Fez. I didn't get into those. Thanks for that, Ron and Fez.
Oh, you weren't aware of them before?
I was aware of them, but I didn't get into Ron and Fez. I'm from the D.C. Baltimore area, so they were actually on regular radio. But now I'm realizing, I missed out on a lot of fun there.
I was the same way where I didn't listen to them while they were on. And honestly, I still probably wouldn't because it's bits and pieces of Ron and Fez that I love, particularly the Fez meltdowns. That's really what I loved most. While they were on the air, like I didn't really, but then you start noticing like the Blueberry incident and things. And you're like, oh God, this is it's not only interesting to watch, but it's like, you would think Fez Whatley would have been a viral clip every day. There's a man breaking down on the radio. And it was old hat for Ron and everyone else in that studio, which is crazy.
Not looking
good.
The
cookie.
All right, let's go ahead and get moving here. We got to start. Cookie. You guys have to throw money in. I'm going to yell at you today. Don't you fail me, motherfucker. It's been 4 years of kicking ass. Throw in the big ones. 50.
Whoa, wait. What does that mean, Aaron? You mean it's been 4 years of everyone donating to you over and over again? Then why do they owe you here? How do you even say that with a straight face and not explain it? I think that's crazy.
Aaron could switch over into little children's educational the way he's talking about the goal. Just 2 people with $50 or 5 people with $20.
That's my new favorite. He's breaking it down mathematically, as if we're all watching together. Like I would go, hey, so Dylan, you got 20, and Casey's got 20, and Electra's got 20. Obviously, I'm throwing in 20. Oh fuck! Could we ask Dang Lizard to also throw in $20 so we can make this 100 real quick?
200, 300. Maybe we only read Rumble Rants, Super Chats, and PayPals today. Maybe we go super fucking old school steel toe. And we just go, we're going to do stories. We're just gonna go
Aaron,
on,
that's
we're
what the
gonna be-
show should be. Wow, imagine that. If Aaron went back to talking about stories he's interested in instead of obsessing over numbers.
What I've seen, like him just reading from the chat, is the main part of his show. I was shocked to see that when I dove into his show, very little of it was him doing stories. The vast majority was him just looking over at the chat, and not even super chats, just what are people saying? I need something. Here's someone. I have nothing to add to it, but they said something.
Well, I said, you know that YouTube channel, Real Media Player?
Yes.
They do. He clips. He calls it Only Goals, and he clips the goals from that day's Steel Toe, and it's a half an hour of the show. No exaggeration. It's a half an hour, and that's just him talking about the goal. It's not him talking every time he talks to the chat. It's just every time he mentions the goal. That's crazy. That takes up half an hour. That's about as long as what the Brendan Schaub segment we did today.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's utter madness. That he goes on that long about, hey guys, come on, throwing $20 here. Let's get some chunk yardage plays going.
It's like taking the place of the commercial breaks. That's about how long the commercial breaks would be for 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah. Well, even I look at, that's how I look at like super chats is basically our commercial break. That's what, 10 minutes of the show at most. It's you know what I mean? Like it's not that long that we spend on that.
Depending on the show, I remember this one time we did 5 hours on them.
Well, sure, yeah. As Aaron is trying to make us all remember here.
Stories, we're gonna bullshit. You want to talk to the toe, you pay for it. If I'm going down, if this thing is rotten, if this ship is sinking, it's gonna be glorious.
But
one
here's
thing
what
you're
doesn't
gonna
make
learn.
sense. This is an imitation of me, clearly. But what I don't think Aaron realizes is it's an imitation of me imitating him. So what does he find funny about what he's doing? Do you see my question?
It could be the self-awareness is just absolutely nil.
Right. Like
you
what
were
does
doing
he
an
think
original
I'm
character.
making fun of? Or does he think I just behave like that?
It's a brand new character that you made up there for that gold show that he's now
Just
making
for
his
no
own.
reason, yeah.
It's the biggest time you've covered him, so my guess might be the first time he watched. And so if that's the first time he watched, that's the Blind Mike show. Oh, Blind Mike's got a good thing here.
But if he's watching that, he must know I'm making fun of him, right? How would you watch that episode and not realize what I'm doing?
There's only one way to answer this. We have to super chat this idiot and figure out what he knows about the goal show.
He has, by the way. I don't know if you've heard this, Dylan. Are you aware of the Friday Rumble Fridays? What he does on there?
It's actually thanks to you talking about it that I started getting aware because
I like to
go
raise
through the
awareness.
Clippers.
It's an important cause, and I try to raise awareness in the community.
And now I am aware of paying him what was it, $50 to watch a $10 video?
so it's no, Dylan, that would be ridiculous. It's not that, of course. It's $5. So on Friday, the show is free. I think it's always free as far as I know. But that's how he advertises it. Hey, Fridays, guys, you don't have to pay me. You get a day off. But we're only on Rumble. And you can send me links. Now, here's how the links work. It's $5 to get your link played on the show. And it's a 10-minute video, 10-minute maximum. So I could send him, ideally, I think what Aaron wants is like I find some TikTok of Kamala Harris saying something crazy. Like that gun video where Kamala Harris is like, I'd shoot you if you came into my house or whatever she says.
Kamala.
I'm sorry. Why does she keep coming up today? That's weird. But so I could send Aaron that link and say, boy, I'd really love to know what Aaron thinks about this. Here's $5 so you'll play it. If you want to be bumped up to the front of the line, if there's a couple links coming in and you say, I want to skip all these other links, you pay $10. If you want to assure that he'll play the whole video, it's $20. So for the low price of $20, you could send him 10 minutes of Patrick Melton's show, 10 minutes of him talking about his ex-wife that he's not allowed to do, 10 minutes of Nick Rekieta, 10 minutes of the Aussie guys questions. Like, you can send whatever you want to him for $20, and by his rules that he's created, he has to pay it. So he has now set up his show in an unwinnable way where he has to do these things that he's never going to adhere to. Like, once people start fucking with him, he's just going to abandon it immediately and never acknowledge it. Why do you put yourself in these situations, Aaron?
This is actually reminding me of a pay-to-play Who Are These Socials? Like, if you want to drop a link into the Discord of Who Are These Socials, don't forget to give us a couple of bucks, and we might play it.
Yeah. Hey, you're already helping us find links for the show. You're already doing show prep for us. Where's the cabbage? Come on, where's the $20 for the joy you get for hearing us talk about your video? Isn't that worth $20 to you?
Learn is that if this dream dies, it will blow up in an extravagant fashion. It will be a show. I will lose my mind and have a mental breakdown on the air. And
will meaning like future tense.
Eventually, like marriages.
can you imagine what that would be like if Aaron lost his mind? Oh, would that be ugly?
An actual physical explosion will happen.
It would have to be more extreme than this. He would actually have to combust live on air.
Maybe he only knows how to end things terribly. That's like the only way he knows how to end.
He does seem like a self-destructive guy. I don't know him at all, obviously, but it seems like he has that in him.
Amazing. The fact that you're not throwing in right now is fucking insane. Because this should annoy you to the point where you throw in money to go, Aaron, this needs to stop. No, I'm losing my mind.
Just bring it to it. Bring it to a halt.
It's all like.
This is very
blind Mike self-awareness right there, almost.
This is very meta, Aaron. Interesting. This is like at the end of the show. But did he really watch all 5 hours?
He had to have. He's deep in the weeds.
Steel toes falling the fuck apart. It's over. It's done. You're going to miss me when I'm gone. I'm talking about doing voice work, for fuck's sake. It's over. I'm done. My goose is cooked. I'm finished. See that guy next to me? He's fucking finished. It's over. Matt, done. Finito. It's gone. And you know what I've decided?
They'll just get other jobs. Like that's just how life. It'll suck for them, I'm sure. If you lose a job or any stream of revenue, of course it sucks. But what are we supposed to do about that? I got my own problems, you know?
What's fun is Johnny Crutches isn't adding any audio to this, but he's got a what the fuck face during this whole time that keeps changing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't know. Johnny Crutches seems annoyed with all of this. Like, he won't just come out and say it, but maybe there's more to their relationship than I'm aware of. Maybe they're good friends off air. I have no idea what their relationship is like. But purely based on what we see on the show, he seems to hate all of this.
We get a lot of Jim faces from The Office from Johnny during these things.
Oh, really?
He just looks at the camera, shrugs, and then kind of looks back.
Johnny wants to do broadcasting, and this is his one foot to get paid, and not just do it for free like a bunch of us did up until I think he might be monetized, but he needs that sweet gold money himself. That trickle down to him.
Yes, we all do. Yes, I understand.
You're all not going to kill me with lack of contributions. I'm going to kill me. I'm going to kill my creation by screaming $50, $100. Get it in. And if nothing comes in and I'm screaming at the void, fuck it. I'm okay with that too. Because honestly, if we just have more nights like last night, here's what the haters get. I might be done by the end of the week. We missed by $100 every fucking
Aaron,
show.
Don't do that to us. I can't even do it now because he's doing it. Maybe that's the brilliance of Aaron. He's ruined my bit.
Noise canceled you out.
You are obsolete.
Genius. Utter genius.
Go. We got 6-7 shows left. You might be rid of me by the end of the week. Got to do something, right? So, there you go.
And that's all for the Aaron Imholte.
Boy, that is. I don't know. He also did you cover him at all at the end of the week, Dylan? How's he reacting to all the court stuff?
I haven't covered him since last Wednesday, so the court appearance was after I covered him. I did get some of those clips. With all of his obscure movie references that you're not going to do it, I'm going to do it, disappoints me he didn't get an obscure Pacino movie reference in there of And Justice for All, because
Sure.
why not?
Yeah, yeah. Well, his movie references are so weird. I didn't realize what people were making fun of because I would see that and I was like, well, I make movie references all the time or TV show references, whatever. I don't get what the big deal is. The other day, he launched. It might have been the same episode that we just covered. He launches it. He goes, "Oh, this is exactly like in Fargo," and then he does a full scene, all of the characters. he's William H. Macy's character. Then he's the fucking his boss. I forget his name, but the boss. Like he does a full scene, every character, but there's no. It's just him acting the scene out. There's no reference to what's happening in the show. He's like, "Oh, this is like that movie I like," and then just acts it out like a psychotic person.
He doesn't hit the high points and move on. Yeah, he just stews in it.
Yeah, yes, he languishes in like a 5-minute scene where we're like, Aaron, we get the reference now, or we don't. Either way, we've made up our mind. We either get it or we don't. Move on. But he doesn't like doing that. But
and that's kind of funny because I stumbled into a Fargo reference on my show this week. I just made the funny-looking guy that they called Steve Buscemi and moved on. I did not just simmer there for an entire 30 minutes as Aaron will.
You were like, and then moving on to Act 3, where
wood chipper scene time.
Yeah, but yeah. So I haven't paid too much attention to it, but you're not going to believe this. He managed to spin his court appearance into another win because he was like, in the clip I saw, probably from Doom or one of those guys. He was like, the haters all think. I took an L. I got a day off. I got to go to court. But I don't think you guys realize what's happening. It's going to be 5-10 minutes. Who even cares? Like, they think I'm just going to go to jail. And it's like, no, Aaron. They think eventually you might go to jail because you have to go to court. No one thinks it's happening that day. They just think it's insane that you're going to court and you're like, just a day to stretch the old gams and have some errand time.
And he calls it a day off, but it's not a paid day off. He should have just ran his stream live with like a still screen and please give money. I'm at court.
Even if it wasn't him going to court, like, does anyone consider jury duty? Good, I got a relaxing day off. It's still annoying.
I got a whole $13.
Avoid that shit like the plague.
That'd be better. $13, that we could throw that towards the goal. That's for the evening crew.
Thank you to the court for giving me $13 for the goal in jury duty.
Goal. They should call that point double point. They should call it. And now that I'm about to say it, it sounds like a terrible.
No, say it. Now you got to say it.
I was gonna say skull in the goal. And just
there we go.
Alternate weeks. Sometimes they talk about John. Sometimes they talk about. I don't like that Casey likes it, but sometimes they talk about John. Sometimes they talk about Aaron. You know.
Hey, Dylan, where can people find you?
Yes.
They can find me on YouTube, Dylan from somewhere. I do several different show concepts, TikTok around the clock, kind of a variant of Who Are These Socials, where I go and screen record TikTok live and find some new oddballs. I do have a bonus show coming up, Slow Adult Speed Dating. A whole 17 minutes of that will be behind the paywall coming up soon.
I'm intrigued just by the title. I like the sound of it.
There's speed dating over on TikTok, and very often it is a couple of slow adults.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, I'm there.
Go check out Dylan from somewhere. I would also invite Dylan to stay for this next segment, but based on his mic, it would feel ridiculous. No,
he's out of here. I can't stand it anymore.
It would be wild to do the segment we're about to do with Dylan's mic.
Also kind of ironic, but also Dylan is monetized over at his channel, so get over there, donate some money so we can buy a goddamn system that doesn't sound like this.
Yeah, help Dylan hit the goal so he can get a microphone.
Yeah, I'm on Baby's first streaming software with StreamYard. Here on EVMux, I actually need to graduate and be an adult with my sound system.
All right. Yeah, so go subscribe to Dylan from somewhere. Like I said, he's live. How often are you live? Every day?
Tuesday through Thursday, 11:30 Eastern in the morning.
Check him out. Go check out Dylan from somewhere. Watch his steel toe coverage, all that. Thank you, Dylan.
See you, Dylan.
Thank you.
Have a great day, buddy.
Go to blindmike.net for everything Blind Mike. Look at me. I did it. Kragers did it.